a Nigerian adage that says that when a toddler is crying and points in a particular direction, that if you go there, you likely find a parent, a relative, or a familiar face. So I'm going to be pointing in a particular direction because there's something the world likes. We love cliches. We love what is fashionable. And what's fashionable at this time when we're talking about climate change, it's about advocacy. I'm about to show you its limitations, and I'm about to show you that without strong public institutions, without a dynamic multilateral public organizations like a modernized United Nations, that it will amount to nothing. In 2018, we had just had a massive public protest concerning the prevalence of submicron particulate matter all over the city of Port Harcourt. And people were being assailed daily with this material that contains mercury that's injurious and poisonous, particularly to babies. I know of a baby, 1 day old baby choked to death, young couple. So when Port Harcourt screamed, the world media came to its attention. And we did not just follow the campaign, we did a petition of 400 pages to the United Nations, and particularly to the World Health Organization in 2018. The petition did not deserve a simple response. It was ignored only for the World Health Organization to run for Paris in the same year and have a talk shop saying that pollution is the next big killer. I guess the 2 million people in Port Harcourt are not important. 2021 has come. Talks based on climate organized by the same United Nations. The city of Glasgow has just hosted one. And in a haze of carbon monoxide, the participants have gone, the sirens have blown, everywhere has gone quiet. And another festival of talk is being planned. The community of Port Harcourt, with 2 million people, are still struggling in that situation. I'm a victim. I was sick for over 6 months. Our stained feet of our babies are a testimony. The dialysis machines at the various renal centers are witnesses where children are having kidney failures. The new roofing sheets in the communities where the activities of illegal artisanal refinery is going on, the new prosperity of ill-gotten wealth, I approve, while the smog smiles at us daily and at our ignorance. Everybody will say advocacy in the key. The Port Harcourt story is 2016, a lot of house helps got sacked, fired, house helps, maids, and so on, because owners of houses felt that nothing was being done, that the houses were not properly kept, until people realized there was a problem. So we went to the streets. The government of the state assured us that something was being done. And at that time, the Ministry for Environment was being run by a very renowned professor. In 2018, we protested and wrote to the United Nations, dragged the whole world. The hashtag Stop the Suit was the in thing. For the first time, there was a massive collaboration of all the media houses. In Rivers, we have about 24 radio stations. They all came together, lovely young people. The young, the old, we all came together. The key was to, first of all, bring the attention of government to the people, of the plight of the people, make the actors who are involved in this to be aware of the consequences of their actions, and begin to do, public campaigns. And we did all that. We made the people become aware of the danger of the trade, those who were involved. Some became scared, others became inquisitive and joined the business. We spoke to the Nigerian Bar Association. We even went to the Nigerian Medical Association, and we accused them of complicity, of silence. And at that meeting, they instigated the Rivers State government, and the report was embarked upon. A 5-year trend was established that there were 25,000 respiratory-related deaths that have happened in Rivers State. Based on these findings by the Rivers State government, while the Rivers State government kept its report on the shelf, I and the Extra Step Initiative went to court to seek the enforcement of our rights because proactively, the African Union had established a protocol around the right to a clean environment, and Nigeria was a signatory to it, and Nigeria had domesticated in her law. This is what we went to seek for enforcement, and we are still in court. We went further to issue a reminder on our 400-page petition to the United Nations. This petition, I'm talking about studies about what was happening, scientific, done by renowned scholars all over the region. And I stand here as simple as an acknowledgement has not been gotten from them. Port Harcourt, I guess, we are not important. We sought for help from the community, from the local government authorities, from the state, from the ministries, departments, and agencies of the federal structure, even the federal government. We went for the multilateral organizations, United Nations, World Health Organization. Even the Pope was copied in our petition. Thank God for Twitter. You could reach anybody, so we ensured everybody got a copy of our position. We did not just protest. We did not just shout. We came up with recommendations for the executive, for the legislature, and for all tiers of, even for the multilateral organizations like the United Nations. The need to come down from their high horse, that their seat is 76 years old, and begin to adapt to current realities that the underdeveloped world does not recognize. Like the last video you just saw, the world is talking about pollution. Africa did not contribute to it. But now in Nigeria, Nigerians are in a hurry to catch up. Suddenly, the price of cooking gas has gone up. It's beyond the reach of the ordinary man. Deforestation has commenced. All those trees that they got grants in the Sahel, that they plant in the savannah, they're cutting them down daily. In Kwara State, there's a massive harvesting of charcoal. Charcoal is not coal. It means you're burning down trees to achieve that. If you go to Zamfara, there are issues of lead poisoning. People are in a hurry. Nigerians are in a hurry to damage the environment. If you come to Rivers State, this is the hub of submicron particulate matter. We use them as deodorants. We use them as perfumes. We breathe them daily. We swallow them. You find them in your nostrils when you wake up. Oh, when you jog, you get a handful. Welcome to our reality. The media, we drag them. They weren't helpful, but how far can they go? Be they CNN, be they BBC, be they Silver. How does it concern that man in Alakiri with CNN? They talk, how it take concern them when food no dey for table. Meanwhile, if he enter river, when he come out, he go put new roof too, and he will be a witness. He will give testimony. Our reality of advocacy, that it has its limitations. The community has failed us. I have failed you. The local government authorities has failed us. The state government, we just bear the name, democracy. We like the title. But there is more required beyond just adopting it. If you say you're civilized, you will probably not be doing human sacrifice. I'm not where you're going to. The federal government of Nigeria, probably they traveled. We, all of us here, have also failed. This is our 10th year of TED. How many have been able to translate beyond the talk and the drama? When I call for the protest, I don't see most of you there. You're behind the screens monitoring me on your handsets. We are part of the failure. The question is, what next? What next means that if we do not extend our activism to run for office, me and you, and expect the current policymakers and implementers and the current core of politicians to change things, what are we, dreamers? If we do not, we will not make progress because of those people, and we leave them to continue. As long as the local government structure and government, which is supposed to be a platform for inclusiveness, remains places for political patronage and payment of salaries of non-productive workers, there will be no change. It's not spiritual. It's only rational. We have refused to see unemployment and underemployment statistics that the National Bureau of Statistics have been pointing at. For instance, River State, that you have been topping it for like 3, 4, 5 years. And we try to douse these statistics with political rhetoric and a plethora of concrete bridges, flyovers. As we continue to look at the bridges, they will not provide alternatives for those who provide willing labor for illegal artisanal refining. People, man must work, Abi. If the federal government who is the investor and regulator and has only one product, oil, crude oil, does not deem it important to protect it, and is depending on you and me to protect, preserve, regulate. But when it comes to spending the money, they're interested. We are dreaming. I think there's going to be a hashtag, Nigeria Dreams. There will be no change. In other climes, the typical perception is that the artisanal refinery send in the soldiers, send in the military, go and beat them, arrest them, prosecute them. That is the perception. Enforcement. But in other climes, if you successfully hack into Google, what do they do to you? They employ you, reprogram you, and you become an ethical hacker and become a gatekeeper. Is it not about time we get the system? Since the state-run oil company cannot run the refineries, is it not about time we come to the reality that the people have resorted to self-help, adopted old measures used for illicit gene mining and refining to refine petroleum products for themselves? Is it not about time that we get them documented, get them organized, and get them to go green by regulation? In Nigeria, we say, take your tongue, count your teeth. When all else fails, we always believe help will come from above. And at the pinnacle of civilization today is the United Nations. Ladies and gentlemen, and the World Health Organization and her agencies. Ladies and gentlemen, the United Nations in its present structure is a dinosaur. She is incapable of meeting the current needs of our current realities. In the year 2000, we had a president called President Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. He went all over the world asking for debt relief. And for every General Assembly, United Nations was campaigning while third world nations must be granted debt forgiveness. True or false? Yeah, and eventually that was granted. Nigeria's debts most of them were forgiven, wiped off, and the rest were negotiated and paid down. Today, we're back to status quo ante. Now, what does this simply mean? The United Nations, is there not if it was an organization that was dealing with current realities, shouldn't warnings have been given that even the citizens will know that where you are going to, you're going back to where you used to go to. You know the consequences of loans that were borrowed 1979 to 1983 when the military came back to power, where those loans were borrowed and were never used, and you're back there. What it means, it affects the value of your currency. It affects every gamut and facet of your existence. So what are those agencies of the United Nations being retained for? Are the reasons for which it was established in 1945 or so, in the 40s, are they still cogent? Are they still relevant to what we're doing? As I am speaking to you, Port Harcourt is still crying Yesterday, civil NBA on the 7th, Nigerian Bar Association spoke on the 7th. Yesterday, a coalition of civil societies came together to talk on the same matter. Today, we're here for text. As I speak to you, there's a war going on in Ethiopia, and the United Nations seem to be clueless in the direction of the conversation. What I'm simply saying, that a people who depend on the current existence of these weak public institutions, be they at the multilateral level, like the UN, be they at the federal government, like the federal government in Nigeria, be they at the state level, at that of River State government, be they at the local government structure. You cannot carry out advocacy in a state of weak public institutions. You cannot carry out effective advocacy, a result-oriented advocacy, in a state of planlessness, in a state of dynamism. So what I am saying, beyond the cliche of advocacy, beyond the cliche of climate change, the current realities that face us in the world, we need to grow our public institutions to become strong like they used to be, and they need to become dynamic to face the current realities as they stand. Be it in the environment, be it about the climate, be it about debt forgiveness, be it about the economy, be it about health, be it about COVID. A proactive, strong public institution with an enlightened populace is what will take us to the future. Thank you very much.